And welcome back everyone, welcome back to Grim Fandango. There was another area in the Calavera Cafe that I forgot to explore, so I think it's the casino area actually, the main part of the casino. Ah, there we go. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Ah, my bread and butter. Thrill-seeking rich folk with a poor grasp of statistics and probability.
Manny's music, the Casino Calavera music, that was a big moment for me doing the score because it was done fairly early on, and it kind of it determined a lot of other stuff, just sort of stylistically. Get that sort of Gene Krupa thing going on in the beginning. And
Gene Krupa.
yeah, one of the great drummers of all time.
Les jeux sont faits. Ladies and gentlemen, betting is closed. No more bets, please.
Les jeux sont faits. And this is the police guy that always has to win in our cafe. And look, I never noticed this mural before, but look, it's Manny and Meche. And Death? But we want to talk to this guy. And maybe this guy. I'm gonna talk to all the people, fuck it.
Everything okay down here?
I'm going to need some more chips if Monsieur Lucky does not call it a night soon.
Oh yeah, he's sure.
Le zero.
Le zero.
Zero.
I just want to have a really international flair. I guess because Casablanca was very international. But also I love the game Last Express, the Jordan Mechner game. Last Express, you're on a train. And there's a lot of listening to conversations that are not presented at full volume because you're eavesdropping. You're walking down a hallway and you hear someone talking in a room. But they'll often be very quiet, but also sometimes in another language, like French or German or something. And just the idea of like overhearing a quietly spoken French conversation was so neat in that game that we tried to have people talking in other languages in here, like that. The croupier in the gambling room speaking French, I believe.
Le numéro gagnant, le 8 noir.
Oh wow, I forgot about that mural. That was supposed to be
that's
sort of
really good.
Oh well, thank you. I did that.
Did you?
No, I did, but it was based on like a Gustav Klimt. But then I also did those really bad textures on the roulette wheels.
Oh, they're
Oh, no, but I remember Adam Schnitzer actually getting angry at me. He was like, "Don't paint light in the paintings."
Who got angry with you?
Oh, not really angry. I mean,
He probably felt the same way as when Tim said, Manny's not cool enough. So yeah,
Ladies and
just make
gentlemen,
it cool.
betting is closed.
Canadian.
No more bets, please.
What's that about?
That's not so not.
What's that about? And you, sir, are getting on my nerves with your incessant talking.
Le numéro
You know,
gagnant.
some people say you should always walk away from the table when you're on a winning streak.
Oh, yes, but I'm feeling extra lucky tonight.
And if I sit down, Charlie?
Of course not, Manny. I mean, it is your club, right?
It is my club.
Chowchilla Charlie.
Oh yes.
That name comes from an actual person I know who was from Chowchilla, which no one remembers anymore, but when I was a kid, an entire school bus full of children was kidnapped in the town Chowchilla. Do you remember that?
No.
California.
Wow.
A school bus full of kids was kidnapped, and the people demanded ransom. And it was crazy to think about. It was on the news. It was
Jeez.
Chowchilla. Everyone was talking about this kids, and eventually they were found and rescued, and I don't believe they were hurt. So I can talk about that story now.
Yeah.
And all the kids went home, but and then years later, I just a friend of ours was dating this guy named Charlie. And he was from Chowchilla, and I was like, "Oh wow, were you on the bus?" He was like, "No, I was sick that day. I was sick. I didn't go to school that day, and so I didn't get kidnapped."
Wow.
And we always referred to him as Chowchilla Charlie.
Wow.
And he's now in the game as Chowchilla Charlie, even though his personality is not as sleazy as this character. He was a fine, outstanding, although very lucky guy.
Yeah.
But this is our Peter Lorre character.
Aha. Well, Chowchilla Charlie is basically a swindler, a gambler, a puller of tricks guy.
Right. So what are you doing in it? Didn't I tell you not to come back until you can pay your bar tab?
Oh, or they kicked me out of that cat trick for printing fake betting stubs. So now I have to come here, Manny, which I love. Which
Which you love.
How did you print fake betting stubs?
With this. Isn't she beautiful? The last time I was incarcerated, I shared a cell with the most dishonest con man I ever met. He was strictly small time, and I managed to steal this from him quite easily.
Thanks. You never know when this may come in handy.
Hey, give that back to me, Manny.
Maybe once you settle your bar tab, eh, Charlie?
Oh, Manny.
Yes, Charlie, that is the way we're gonna play this.
What else can you counterfeit?
Nothing. Anything.
So can you make passports?
Manny, you still think like a living man in so many ways. No soul needs a passport. We are all citizens of the same nation, and our king rides a pale horse.
So no passports?
No. No, that little hologram is so tricky, you know?
I see, but they still make passports because he knows of the passport hologram? Okay. But they still need some sort of documents in the land of the dead for some reason.
How about driver's licenses?
Sure. Just, give me a recent picture, $50 in, about 2 weeks, okay?
When I think of something I need, I'll come back.
I'm not a wishing well, Manny.
Well, considering you have a debt at the casino, you will do what I tell you to do, my good Charlie friend.
That's a nice suit. Where'd you steal it?
Manny, if you learn to play the odds like Chowchilla Charlie, then maybe you too can have a suit this fine someday.
That's okay, I'm fine with my suit. Even though I kinda look like a waiter, it's a very fancy dinner jacket.
Well, I've got a club to run, so...
Oh yes, please, Manny. Get on with your glamorous life.
Alright, nice fresh air, and the music is way too loud in my ear. Alright, so we've got Rubacava to explore, which is a decently big place.
Meche?
Manny, help me. I've been lost for so long. Why didn't you look for me?
I did. You ran off. Why?
Because you said I was no good. I've been all alone in the world for a whole year. And it's all because of you!
This gonna be an annual thing with you, Manny? Every Day of the Dead, you toss your bones into the drink and I fish 'em out?
I don't plan to be around that long, Velasco. As soon as I find out where that ocean liner's going, I'm after it.
Ha ha! That ship's going to Puerto Zapato. That's the other side of the world. Ain't no ships going out that way but the old Limbo here, but...
But nothing. If the Limbo's my only hope, then I'm already on board.
Well, good luck, son. That's all I got to say.
So we kind of found Meche, although she was kind of being dragged into that ship by Domino as far as I can tell, and then she assaulted us with the champagne bottle. I'm not sure if she wanted to protect us or she hated us for some reason. Maybe Domino lied to her. But you saw those crow bird things with skull heads before? I didn't find out until later that those messenger crows belonged to the fat guy in the fez that we saw, which is the main villain of the game. And they're basically human heads stuck on crows as far as I understood it, which is a very grim thing. And the way that they copy the voices, I think they just hear humans talking and then they can replicate that sound like a parrot. I think. I might be 100% wrong, but that's how I saw it. very, very creepy, like human-headed messengers and stuff. Hector is fucked up.
That's Kay Cuter, and Kay was, I don't know, late 70s, early 80s, and he had big, long, gray beard.
Yeah.
And he was a raging smoker.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
you'd have to break him every 45 minutes,
Oh,
otherwise he'd start getting into a really bad mood. And on one of those sessions, he plays the croupier later on, where he speaks French and English, and it's just, he delivers the numbers. We were behind on time, and so I sort of pushed him to an hour, and all of a sudden I found myself in an argument with Kay over how to pronounce 20 in French.
Oh.
And so I was like, it's definitely time for a smoke break. On, yeah, get out of here.
What you doing, Mr. Captain Salty Sea Dog, man?
That Dockmaster Velasco is one salty old bag of rope.
You should see his wife.
Okay. Alright, buddy. I'm ready to sail.
All right, so I'm ready to sail.
On what?
On the Limbo, man. Let's go.
Manny, the Limbo's not a passenger ship. She's small cargo, son. And every hand on board works.
I can work.
I'll work.
What are your skills?
Sales and restaurant management.
Oh, hey, there is one opening on the Limbo's crew.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's in the engine room. And your buddy Glottis would be perfect for it. But he'd have to get his own tools.
Okay, if I get Glottis some tools, can we board?
He can, yes. No offense, Manny, but there's just no place for you aboard the Limbo. She's fully manned already. In fact, her whole crew's on board, ready to sail at dawn. Except for that one guy.
Ah, that one guy. One guy who hasn't boarded yet.
Who's the one guy who hasn't boarded yet?
Yeah, well, Seaman Naranja's a little late, but he'll be here before they sail.
Naranja or Naranja or however it's pronounced. I can't Spanish. I think it means orange, so that's funny. Sailor Orange.
What job did Naranja have?
He ran the galley.
Aha, restaurant management.
Yeah, it's similar to what you're doing now. Except the fish is fresher on the Limbo.
What if Naranja doesn't show up? I can fill his spot, right?
Manny, you're not even in the Maritime Union.
I know that, and you know that, but we're two guys who can keep secrets, right?
Glottis is exempt, but the captain will ask for your card. And if you don't have one, they'll serve you to the sharks like chum. And what's worse, I'll get fined. That's a tough union, boy, and I don't mess with them.
That's fine. That's why I have my Chowchilla Charlie in my casino who owes me money. He can always make fake documents for me. Hopefully. Hopefully they won't be stupid fakes.
So let me get this straight. If I get Glottis some tools,
Then I can get him a job on the Limbo.
and if Seaman Naranja doesn't show up for work,
But he will,
and I get a Maritime Union card,
which you'll never get.
then I can sail on the Limbo in the morning.
Jeez. I guess so.
Yes, I will do that in one night. Because I'm Manny Calavera and I can do anything.
What kind of tools does Glottis need?
Authentic CB equipment only.
CB, I remember those. CBs, I thought that was so clever. Because, you know, bees hate water mostly, and CBs is like C and B. It's funny, okay?
Where do I get authentic CB equipment?
Why don't you ask a CB? Afraid of getting stung?
That wasn't funny.
Where do you think Naranja is?
Probably home selecting recipes for the trip.
Oh, so he was the cook. Oh, we can cook. It's fine.
What's going on in that bottle? A tugboat?
This happens to be a perfect scale replica of the SS Lumbago. I'm just having a little trouble getting the walking beam to fit in the neck here.
That's funny, because a lumbago is usually more of a problem in the lower back than the neck.
Yeah,
Nothing. I better go finish packing.
Aye, you do that, son.
You wait and see, old man. I'm gonna get this shit done. But first, I'm gonna look at stuff.
The SS Limbo needs a little TLC.
Yeah, could do with a paint job, really.
I never was that good at the high jump. Dang, these short legs.
He does have short legs, doesn't he?
Yeah, maybe Velasco wouldn't notice.
If I put the ship in my pocket, yeah, he probably wouldn't notice. But there is a moon here that has a skull on it. That's pretty cool. And you can do stuff with it.
It shone pale as bone as I stood there alone, and I thought to myself how the moon that night cast its light on my heart's true delight, and the reef where her body was strewn.
Wasn't that lovely? Both of them started reciting a poem. Amazing.
Don't have that kind of equipment.
I don't have the proper equipment to pick up the moon. Of course.
Don't have that kind of equipment.
Alright. Alright. Jeez. So as you can see, Rubacava is a pretty big place. We have multiple ways of going, and I'm gonna choose this way of going first.
We definitely should give a huge shout out to Peter Chan, and yeah, I'm still jealous of that guy.
Chan the man.
I know, just when those packages would come, it would just be like Christmas, and you'd open, yeah, you'd see those, and you just think, oh man, and he's a nice guy too, you know.
The weird thing about
family.
that was I never experienced like the delivery of the package firsthand, but I still got excited about it.
No, they're beautiful, and he's such a sweetheart. Chan
the man. I think he was one of the concept artists, and you can see that he did a pretty good job. Yep. And this is another... It's not a casino, it's actually a bar called the Blue Casket. See? Blue Casket. It says right there. I'm gonna have Manny say it as well. Manny, faster.
Blue Casket. Just doesn't have the zing of Calavera Cafe, you know?
I know. Yeah, yours is the best.
Blue Casket. Just doesn't have the zing of Calavera Cafe, you know?
I know.
And I'm sorry, Garb, this is the set that you had to build
this
twice.
This is Garob's, right? Yeah, this is the one.
This was the gift that kept
and it's
on
actually
giving.
Very beautiful, I might add.
Yes. Well, a second time is...
the second time I can.
But I'm sorry, you were saying that was a real building.
Yeah.
Where? Was that in Spain?
Barcelona,
I think
probably?
It's in Paris,
no.
I think.
Oh.
And I remember seeing a photo of it and being like, wait, Peter.
Good artist borrow, great artist steal.
My game is a bit slow today. But yeah, this is the kind of spy bar that you see in film noir movies and stuff. Everyone wears berets and sunglasses inside. That means they're all assholes. Oh, go back.
Lola? What are you doing here? This crowd doesn't go much for souvenir pictures, except maybe of Lennon.
Shh! Manny, I'm on a stakeout. I'm gonna prove to Maximino once and for all that Olivia's no good for him.
Still hung up on Max, eh? Take my advice, Angel. Forget about him. He's a gambling racketeer.
Like you.
Oh, that hurts, baby.
Hey, shh! Here they come.
Come on, sugar. How about a kiss for the road?
Oh, ick. Don't let me down, Nick. You're a lawyer. You're not supposed to have feelings.
I don't, but I know a good tart when I see one.
Hey! If Maximino sees that, we're going to end up in matching terracotta pots.
Don't be silly. He wouldn't hurt me. He loves me. Manny, at last we're alone. Tell me, how are the bourgeoisie?
Fine. How's Max?
Oh, Gramps, don't start.
Now this is Olivia, a very difficult to understand character. And another thing that this one-year game progression, like time progression, is that Manny formed a bond with lots of people in Rubacava. We didn't actually get to see it, and we're introduced for the first time to these characters while Manny already has a backstory with them.
What are you doing with a snake like Nick?
I'd lay it on you, Manny, but I don't think you'd get it.
Messing around with your boyfriend's lawyer is pretty dangerous.
Messing around with your boyfriend's lawyer is pretty dangerous.
Oh, maybe I was wrong. You do get it.
So she likes to live a bit on the dangerous side and glitch into the wall a little bit. Stop humping the wall. I'm a little worried about Lola.
I'm a little worried about Lola.
That's because she's doomed, Manny. She fell in love with Maximino. That's the one mistake I never made.
Maximino is kind of the bigwig that runs Rubacava or runs the gambling scene. Stop trying to hump that fucking wall, Olivia.
You think Nick would hurt her?
Only if he finds her, and take it from me. He's not good at finding things.
Now that's a big zing for Nick.
Open mic night seems like a big hit.
It always takes those timid souls a while to get up the nerve.
Maybe it would help if you went there and started things a little dark in here, don't you think? I don't know, I like bars to be dark. I like the intimacy.
Little dark in here, don't you think?
Dark and cold, like the hearts of men.
I'm thinking of buying this place.
You know, I'm thinking of buying this place.
Really? I thought about buying yours for a while, but then I just decided to ask my boyfriend Max to buy it for me.
You can have it. I'm leaving town.
Manny, you sound so exciting all of a sudden. Why are you leaving town?
Johnny Law, baby. You see, I'm a grifter. I'm bad news. Nope, I'm chasing a woman that I can't forget.
I'm chasing a woman I met once and can't forget.
Well, I have a poem I wrote just for you. Pay attention because it's pretty short. Here it goes. Ch ah 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 ah
Hey, I happen to have a nice thing going with Meche, even though she hit me in the head with a bottle. Okay, Olivia? I never liked you, bitch.
Maybe it would help if you went up there and started things rolling.
Oh, Manny, read poetry in my own club? That would be like this whole place was just a big temple set up to worship me.
I think that's exactly what you want it to be.
Oh, come.
Okay. Alive.
Okay.
We slept. Life's just some rapid eye movement. In a warm, cozy bed. Buried, we wake. The flesh dream is over, Daddy. Now that we're all crazy dead.
That was great.
Yeah, but that's the last one.
It's not the last one. You can make her say poem after poem after poem, and it's not important to any puzzle or relevant to the story at all. It's just for fun.
Hey.
Okay.
Okay.
Ashes to ashes.
To ashes. To ashes. To ashes. To ashes.
To
ashes. To ashes. To me.
To ashes. To ashes. To ashes. To ashes.
That was great.
Yeah, but that's the last one.
That was great. Catch you later, hep chick.
Well, catch you later, hep chick.
Keep practicing that lingo, man. You'll get it.
No, you'll get a punch in the face. Alright, so, I have some things that I can do in here. I don't know, this area is just so big. What are you doing?
Just a dab will drop you. Hey, man, you didn't see me put the secret ingredient in these coffin shooters, did you?
Relax. Olivia stole the recipe from me in the first place.
Yeah, she steals from the rich and gives to me to poor.
Did he just put, like, dirty water pipe water in those shot glasses? That's disgusting. Ugh.
The sink is full of dirty hookah water.
Ew.
I'm not gonna drink dirty hookah water, and I can't carry it with my bare hands.
I don't think I have anything in my inventory that I can carry stuff with. Letters and very expensive liqueur. Nope. And my scythe. Nope. Nothing yet. But I'll remember.
In the final version of the game, are the backgrounds actually just pre-rendered flats?
Yes, they are.
See, that's amazing to me because, you know, we live in the world of 3D now. We're used to floating the camera around inside of these things. But, you know, once you chose your camera angle to pre-render something, that was it. There you go.
No, it's Manny walking around in a blank 3D room with Z depth
data to clip him in front of the stuff that he needs to clip in front of.
Yeah, so the background was completely flat and he was just moving around in a sort of space that was empty. Can I pick this? I hate it when in games I see something that is obviously not part of the background and you can't do shit with it. What's this?
Let the waiter clean up after himself.
No, fine. Can I pick something from here? I don't remember.
I'm not gonna eat off of dirty plates, and I'm not going to clean them.
I'm surprised they're letting me into the kitchen area, which is, by the way, very disgusting. Good job. So, that coffin shooter knocked her out. But she's gonna be fine. It's not like she can die here again, except when she gets shot. Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
No effect.
Nope, they're out cold. I think I can talk to this nice group of people. And the commentary. I can talk to the commentary. Where the fuck was it?
And then, for some reason, I was always really interested in beatniks. Beatniks and Reds. I think because it was so foreign to me, like the Red Scare was not part of my actual life, but it always seemed like this thing is, it's hard, it's funny. It was always funny to me to imagine how passionate people were about that, how big of a deal it was for them. And it was always so, but if from a safe distance, it was just kind of entertaining. Like, oh wow, people are like, were really concerned about communists everywhere and unions and...
No, I remember there were, when I was a little kid, there were people would still talk about communist plots in all seriousness, yeah.
Well, of course. People like to debate political things, and to be honest, I pretty much lived in communism for a few months of my life, so yeah, I'm part of history, kids. Yay!
But don't you see, when the government fades away, so will our troubles.
Ah, nonsense. We will always need some armed force to fight off the return of capitalism.
That sort of fascist thinking is as dead as you are, comrade. When we get rid of all the guns, that's when people will begin to self-police. And the public opinion alone will keep them from committing crimes. Hola, trust funders.
Hey, look who's making the scene. It's Manny Calavera, the up, the down, the backside of the nouveau riche.
Beat it, dinner jacket. We're talking about things you wouldn't understand, like truth and beauty.
You don't want to get stuck in conversations about politics. People get way too passionate about it, way too fast. But there is, I think, something to do with these people.
Buenas noches, comrade.
Hey, Manny, no offense, but we don't have time for establishment types like yourself.
What makes you guys think I'm so establishment?
You smell like bacon and oppression, man.
¿Qué?
¿Qué? I love bacon. But I have something that will prove to you guys that I'm kind of anti-establishment and I'm part of a rebel group, and I'm not talking about Star Wars. Here you go, buddy. Check this out.
Hey, did I ever tell you guys that you remind me of my friend, Salvador Limones?
Salvador Limones is a fairy tale, a spook story the man tells the masses as he puts them to sleep.
Idiot! Salvador Limones is a very real and a very great, great man. He also writes a mean letter. What is this? I, Salvador Limones, salute you, Manuel Calavera?
A great ally in this noble revolution.
You really know Salvador Limones? What's he like?
Why didn't you tell us you were a freedom fighter, Manuel?
I can't talk about my underground gig, man, where I put the whole scene in Dangerville. Wow.
Heavy.
Hey, I've got a split, so, Viva la revolucion. Oh, man.
Oh, I think they just wet their panties. I don't remember quite what the purpose of me showing off to these revolutionaries was, but I'll figure it out at some point. Next destination will be... we can go upstairs. No, I want to go somewhere else. Yes, this way. I think. Yeah, this is good enough. What a nice view, eh? Surprised that there's no commentary about this scene. It's so lovely for
There it is.
pre-render.
Max's giant cat racetrack. How's a regular guy with 3 roulette tables supposed to compete with that?
Yeah, fair enough. Oh yeah, Maximino owned the cat races as well, which is the equivalent of horse racing or dog racing or whatever, but with giant cats in the land of the dead. I guess cats were used as more of a death symbol because of Egyptian culture and stuff. They worshipped cats as symbols of the death or whatever. I might be super wrong, so don't quote me on that.
To some extent, Grim Fandango is a bit of a mutt. It's got pieces of Jedi Knight, it's got pieces of Scum, it's got pieces of Outlaws, it's got pieces of, it's got IMUS coming in, and it's got the Lua language, so it was a game kind of made on a shoot, for all the technical challenges in it, a lot of pieces were sort of pre-existing, and kind of it was a matter of maybe a new era of game development where you don't write everything from scratch, but you kind of put it together in the best possible way.
Well, and one of the kind of the side effects of that was, since we had pretty robust solutions to video playback and rendering and art pipes in front of us, it really, a lot of the effort, aside from just making everything, all the blocking and tackling working, was spent on how to making games like this convenient and producible and artist friendly. And you had built some tools that were really unlike the things that appeared in RenderDroid or Smush or some of the technologies it was built on. So it's a bit of a mutt in that we borrowed a bunch of really great technology, but there's also a lot of really innovative stuff.
The game was very innovative for its age, being the mud, like they said, but that led also to many, many of the glitches and problems with the game, because it was so new. What's down here? Ah, it's a tattoo place. And in the land of the dead, you don't have any skin to tattoo, so you tattoo your bones, which pretty much hurts like fuck. I can tell you from experience. I didn't tattoo my bones, but I tattooed a part that was pretty close to my bones, and it's not that pleasurable. Give me that commentary, man.
I love how all the characters have very distinct voices that match their personality and their look. Like, how much would Tim give you direction, and how much was your direction influencing?
Well, like, ideally, when you go through the process, you have character pictures along with the audition copy, and we would send that out to the various agencies, and the auditions would come back, and the process kind of does that for you, because you're listening to the auditions and you're looking at the picture, and you narrow it down to a handful of candidates, and then sort of we'd sit down with Tim and just go through them, and sometimes there's only one choice, you just know it.
Right. It's just so great.
Yeah.
All of them.
What you do is you cast for the major characters, and then you use that same talent pool with a lot of the smaller characters, and so that's why Kay is, he was cast for Velasco, but then the croupier just was one of those that's like, okay, well, that fits, he works.
So you let the actors pretty much kind of come up with their character as well when they look at the picture?
Yeah. Well, definitely. For those secondary characters, they're totally undefined when you're in the studio, and so you just kind of sit there, look at the picture, look at the lines, talk about it, just set a dialogue voice in, and then go.
Yeah, just create. I love it. It's just creative everywhere, through the whole thing. Like, not just with us, but even with the actors and stuff like that. And you really are like watching a movie. Yeah, it's amazing.
Absolutely. And you really want that relationship between sort of the voiceover director, the actor, to be collaborative and allow them the freedom to bring stuff to the table and try things, and it just adds a lot.
It does. I never realized that there was one voice actor voicing more than one character, because they sounded so different to me. But this is Sailor Naranja, Sailor Orange, and he was getting a tattoo, and we're going to kill him! No, we're not gonna kill him. Maybe we will, though.
Hola, Toro.
¿cómo estás?
Manny, where are you looking?
Now, Manny, I'm in the middle of something with Naranja here.
Manny, you can look at Toto. Toto Santos. There's another commentator that I want to get.
One thing, for a sound designer or for a composer, when the story is great and the writing is great and the pacing is great, whether it's a film or a game, you can't help but weigh in a successful way yourself, because there's this flow already and you're just participating with it and enhancing it. One of the jobs of a composer, especially in a game like this, a lot of time passes and you need to both entertain the listener and provide musical interest, but it has to also last for a very long time without being tiresome. And I think Pete did a great job at striking a balance between a great deal of musical interest, but also kind of hanging back and taking its time and letting the story unfold, letting the player concentrate on the game.
Sometimes the music gets a bit distracting, to be fair, but most of the time it's great.
I told you, Calavera, not now.
But I want to get a tattoo.
I think these are binders of tattoo designs. They're labeled nautical and nice, and a third one just says Anchormania.
Anchormania. Lovely. Very sailor-themed tattoo parlor.
Hello, operator? Yeah, it's me, baby. How'd you know? Hey, don't say that, sweetheart. You know I meant to stop by and... I'm more happy about leaving town every minute.
Okay, Manny, you little heartbreaker, you. You had other affairs. You had other meetings with other women other than Meche. Hey, you sly dog.
Not picking that up.
Not picking that up. Can I steal his drink? Give me his booze.
I need that. You need to hold still, or I need to strap you down.
He sounds so funny. He's such a big man, but has a very girly voice.
I need that.
I need that.
Hold still, or I need to strap you down.
I need to strap you down. Why are you looking at me, man? Interesting.